What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Black People Love Paramore. I am Sequoia.
And I'm Jordan.
And today we have a special guest, my friend Yassir. Say what's up, Yassir.
Hey, what's up?
In the sensual voice. We love the sensual voice. Thank you. Yeah, and we're going to be talking about chirp phones, sidekicks, nostalgic things of that nature. And Yassir seemed like the perfect guest for that.
I'm just old. That's not like...
Hey,
not
come
like,
on.
But here's the thing. Don't try and play me and be like, oh, yeah, he's looking at... I'm not an expert. I'm just...
Niggas get in their 30s and think they old. Oh, my God. Niggas is 30-something and think they old.
No. Listen to me. Hold on. I'm going to be 37 in June. Like, that is... Think about... No. Think about when you were 17 and someone said they were 37. You were like, that is...
Okay, that's true.
Okay, first of all...
I was 17...
Yassir, I want to congratulate you because not many chirp phone Nextel experts make it to 37. So I think you need to see that as the milestone that it is and take these blessings, accept those blessings.
That's true. All right. Wow. Perspective.
Okay. Take that for what it's worth. It's a
big day. It's a big day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Tell them about yourself, Yassir. Where are you from?
I am. I was born in Miami, then lived in Cincinnati, then lived up in the Bay Area, then lived in Fresno. But I'm I'm like from Marietta, Georgia. Like that's where I was like, and even in Georgia, we lived in like Norcross and Doraville. But like I'm like the base is Marietta, Georgia. So that's what I claim.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why so many places?
Poor
military.
Got you. Jobs. My mom finding a job one place or staying with a family member in a place. Like it's just it just is what it is. If you don't have a house, and you ain't got money, it's like you go where you can have a roof over your head, So
yes, exactly. I've heard that song before.
Who does have a house now though? Yeah. Has a whole ass house.
Well, number one, but it's rented. It doesn't have a it shares with an apartment complex. No.
Does it have a roof?
It has a roof. I'm thankful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very thankful for it. But don't be you can't be playing me like here's a homeowner. It's like that's
all I'm saying is there's some beautiful zoom light. There's some beautiful zoom light going on.
It's just a banker's lamp with an LED bulb in it. I just changed the bulb.
He's just like
I'm just like that's all it is.
Okay.
I put Vaseline on the camera, so it's like a nice sheen.
Wow!
So you look like you're viewing a dream.
Mm-hmm. It is
that's
hazy.
Exactly what it
I'm getting
like
euphoria
vibes.
Yeah, see, exactly.
Very euphoria. You're giving Zan for sure. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, so we're gonna jump into the first segment. In my defense, and I'm very excited to hear what Yassir brought. When I was explaining to Yassir what this segment was, yes. I mentioned, for example, in the first episode, in my defense was chitlins. And I didn't really like his response, I felt judged. It gave anti nigger to me, and so I don't know what's up. Like,
let's get into it. Because first of all, I think I'm the only person in my family now, like my immediate family, that doesn't eat them anymore. Like I grew up eating them. Not only did I grow up eating them, I grew up eating them in a way that people treated it like it was like lobster. Like it was like, we're going to have chitlins. And we're like, oh my God, it's chitlin day, And then, you grow up and you kind of keep eating them because it's tradition. And here's the thing, it's not even, I remember still liking the taste, but I'm like, if you got to put this much hot sauce on anything, it's like, it's a wash. Number two, it's of all the things we eat, like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, and here's the thing, I don't shame anyone. Like, I'm not one of these hoteps out here who's like, you're going to only eat like things you grew in your yard. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have to eat, and we should eat what we like. Like, I'm not going to tell anybody 100%. That KFC is poison. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you and try to be healthy. But like chitlins in particular, like is slavery. Like it is, like it is like. There's no other food that I say that about. I mean, sincerely, like you can eat pig feet and like that I'm fine with it. Like you can eat.
That's a choice.
That's cow tongue. All of it makes sense to me. But like chitlins, I'm like, there was nothing left. There was like that. It is. And here's the other thing: chitlins aren't everywhere. You have to go out of your way to get them in a way that is.
You have to find
that
them.
is psychotic to me. Like to me,
You do.
like to me, that's like
it's
it's
perverse.
like
it is perverse.
It's
Call it what it
perverse.
is.
It's truly like painting over a George Floyd mural to me. Like that's how bad it is.
Get out.
Like it's the food version of like throwing paint on like a Sandra Bland post. Like,
oh my God.
That's it.
Wow.
It's like you're hurting. I mean, I honestly think you're hurting the community by eating them.
Do you see how he's attacking you?
Right.
Do you see the attacks that
He
I
said
sustained
you're
because I
an
expressed?
affront to the community.
He said that I'm an affront to the community.
Because here's
to this capital C community.
here's the thing. So like I've actually read a lot about this stuff, and this isn't a joke. So like
That's why you're here. You're an expert.
But like technically the innards of things are the most nutrient dense. So like weirdly, like, you know, when you like see a wolf or a lion out in the wild, they don't start by eating like the legs and arms. We've been taught that as humans because we believed that protein was the most important thing we needed. When in actuality, everything that is nutrient dense comes from like the stomach, from the intestines, from the pancreas, these kinds of things, right? So
covered in poop.
Yes, but even then, like that's the poop part of it is really only your large intestine. Like even the way your small intestine digests things, it's not the same thing. It's actually just more food.
It's not poop.
Now, and that's where all the absorption happens. So whatever is left, you actually, it's nutrients. Now. And I'm not even one of these people is like eating swine and blah, blah, blah is bad for you. Like you should, I do get on certain people just because like meat as a concept is just very bad for your digestive system. That's the only, but that's all meat. You know what I'm saying? Now, that being said, you are eating the large intestine of an animal that like, and here's the thing, like pigs don't eat necessarily better or worse than any other animal, but the process in which that it's more about like, as a human, you have to do so much work to eat something that for the amount of preparation it's not worth the preparation. The taste isn't worth the prepreparation. No. First of all,
that's where you lose me. That's where you lose me. The taste.
Sequoia, let me now also.
Look at Sequoia's little chitlin eating face. Look at her.
Again, like I just and it's not, chitlins were never chitlins are a choice now. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Okay, so what if they did come from slavery, Yassir? So what if they did?
Other foods had, like, lobster was served to prisoners. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, absolutely. So there's so many foods that come with, like, a history, right?
Yeah.
But chitlins... chitlins... and I don't have the proof of this. But it feels like chitlins were meant to be embarrassing. Like, they were meant to be like, we're gonna ruin
You're right.
you. You know what I'm saying?
You're right. It's the scent. It's the scent when you're making them that makes it seem like they're meant to be embarrassing, like you're trying to fucking embarrass me. You ever order chitlins at a restaurant? I feel like you have.
They don't. Name a restaurant outside. No.
Exactly.
Name a restaurant outside of, like, a cousin that, like, starting a restaurant. Like...
So I had chitlins. There's one restaurant where you can get them at M&M Soul Food in Los Angeles area. Okay, M&M, and they won't have it every day. They have it on like Tuesdays and Wednesdays or something because it's a lot of preparation, a lot of work, whatever. You order them shits. It's embarrassing when they pull that out to your table. It's
I'm sure it is.
Because also here's the other thing about chitlins, like they don't look different when you cook them. Like
they don't get
you don't know if you're eating an undercooked chitlin. Like, you'll just never know. It's just you're eating gray or you're eating hot gray. Like, that's it.
They are gray. That is gray. They are gray. That's their color.
So,
oh my god, Yassir, I will say this is the third episode that we've talked about chitlins and to some degree, and I somehow continue to get more unappetized by it.
So wait,
like it only gets worse.
Jordan, you've never had them?
I've never had chitlins.
Okay, well now I'll say this.
Okay.
If you actually, there's no world where you can experience you'll never fully experience being black in this country unless you've eaten them. I mean that sincerely.
I've never experienced what? I never experienced.
You'll never fully experience being black in America unless you've eaten chitlins. You actually need to, whether you're grossed out by them or not. There's a disconnect. It's like a weird thing. You know when you like meet black people and they're like, oh, I've never been pulled over. And you're like, what? Like, it's like that. It's like that.
A rite of Negro passage.
Yeah.
Now, Jordan is Jamaican. So
right, we have a whole different thing going on.
Oh yeah.
Can I like substitute it? Like, you know how you can do coleslaw instead of like the fries? Can I do is there another thing I could do instead of the chitlins?
Absolutely.
It has to be chitlins.
What is Jamaicans? Y'all be eating chicken feet and stuff like that?
We eat chicken feet. We eat like chicken gizzard.
Chicken gizzards are good.
Chicken gizzards are good.
Wow,
but
not chitlins. Y'all gonna sit here and tell me to my face that fucking chicken gizzards are good, but not. I won't have it. Look, you niggas are lying.
You ever had it from the Chinese store too? Come on, the Chinese restaurant.
Have.
And that shit slapped, didn't it?
No, nigga.
That's cross-cultural. That's cross-cultural.
While chitlins may be gray, chicken gizzards taste gray. It tastes like the color gray.
Chicken, no.
Yes, it does. It tastes like mashed potatoes.
But mashed potatoes are objectively good.
Okay, but it tastes like the taste of mashed potatoes without the taste of
Oh my god.
It's carbless mashed potatoes.
Sequoia, it's crazy how many bad takes you can have in succession, you know, like one after the other.
I've never had a bad take.
Well, I will say, Yassir, though, maybe you're right about you can't be black in this country without having tried chitlins, because I feel like, you know, the same way everybody they say everybody wants to be black but nobody wants to be black.
Yeah.
Like everybody wants to eat chitlins but nobody wants to eat chitlins. You know what I mean? Like I don't think I want to eat chitlins. I don't think I have any interest in eating chitlins.
I mean this sincerely. If a white person ate chitlins for a week straight, I would let them say nigga for a year.
Woo!
You bought the nigga. You bought the right. Truly. No, wait. Like I said, they have to prepare it too. They have to prepare it as well.
My god. So like chitlins is like nigga Ethereum. It's like it's like an e-currency. Okay.
But here's the thing. But it's like, to me, it's like God, what are they? It's like antibiotics. Like, you have to do the whole cycle. Like, if you stop halfway through. It's like you did nothing.
Start over.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Like 2 meals a day you got to eat, and not you can't have it with another thing. Cause that's the other thing. Like chitlins always come with other things. You know what I'm saying? Like it's always like chitlins and cornbread and greens, and but like you're never like, oh, I just put some chitlins on a plate and went to town. Like.
Right, with some truffle oil, you know, like a parsley garnish.
Because I will say this, like, the fact that white people never came for chitlins, like, they've come for everything. They didn't even think about chitlins. That's
right.
That, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not here to like placate them or be like, we need to be like them or any of that stuff. But like,
no,
when they don't recognize it as like even edible, like, and they like, you know what I'm saying? Like they like go across to the Philippines and eat dogs with the locals, and like they love dogs.
Bye.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm screaming.
I'm just saying, we just got, I just like, and here's the thing, Sequoia, and again, I have literally zero proof on this, but you have, like, and keep in mind, for everyone listening, Sequoia is with one of my best friends in the entire world. So what I'm going to say is meant to be complimentary. You are one of the most gorgeous people on this planet. Like, stunning in every way. Like, me and Mark about it were like, you know, the best skin, the best teeth, eyebrow, like all of it. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out Chelsea. Thank you. Stop.
Now that
and Jordan.
And Jordan. But Jordan, here's the thing. Jordan, you don't eat chitlins. So this is my point.
Okay, true.
I feel like Sequoia, you're undoing your work. Like, chitlins feel like reverse plastic surgery. Like
ugly bitch shit. You're saying chitlins is ugly bitch shit, and it turned. Okay, you know what?
Shoot.
You know what? They're so worth it that I'm willing to sustain that. I am willing to go ugly bitch in order to have my chitlin. Because let me tell you something. Y'all won't take my chitlins from me. One, two. White people said, you know what? That's a little too deep into slavery for us. We're not going to do that.
I feel like
you can keep it.
Here, you know what it is? I feel like eating chitlins is like being like, I'm not getting the vaccine. Like, it's like the same. There's a through line.
So now I'm an anti-vaxxer.
Yeah, right.
It's not even that you're an anti-vaxxer. It's like, it's more like if you eat them, they won't even let you get it. They're like, you don't need it.
Okay,
like,
you're not allowed to get it.
You're not going to be around for whatever this is.
Right. Okay.
And probably your body will reject it because it's going to be full of chitlins, you know.
Yeah. Also, I told Jordan that chitlins are called chitterlings, and he just thought that shit was so
crazy.
Funny.
It's crazy.
He hates the sound of it. He took his headphones off.
He's right though. It sounds like they're dangling. It sounds like, you know what I'm saying? When
they are dangling. They are dangling. Okay, that's enough.
Well, no, I have one more thing.
Even though they're wonderful.
Oh my god!
Please,
so now, while I also like just kind of grew out of it, I remember that one of the last times I was even around them was a few years ago. And I was home for Christmas, and we had leftover chitlins. And so my mom made fried chitlin sandwiches and offered me one. Fried? Yeah, and I was like, I'm good. Within 6 hours, my whole family's like, oh.
No.
And I was like, do you think it was the fried chitlin sandwiches?
Chitlin sandwich?
Maybe. Do you think that had anything to do with it?
Now, no, don't blame the fried chitlins.
And
okay? It could have been
other
anything.
story. When I was 12, my aunt Adele had these like boxes for me, my brother, and sister. She was like, "Open them. It's Christmas. Open them. Open them." We all opened them, and it was tiny buckets of chitlins, and it was like.
You're lying. Somebody gifted you chitlins
my
for
aunt
Christmas?
Adele gifted a chitlin
as a child,
and it's like. What are we doing? What are we doing? Come on. Like the fact
there's a whole chitlin economy happening that like I feel like I've just been blind to.
There's not like the fact that like chitlins like it's literally black clubs and performance spaces are literally called the chitlin circuit. Like, and it's not meant as a compliment.
No, it's like the leftovers.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay, that's because niggas ain't never tasted chitlins before. They knew that it would be a compliment.
Right.
But fried chitlins is the craziest shit I've ever heard in my life.
No.
Jordan initially thought the chitlins were fried, and I was like, no, they're not fried. They're boiled. God. I've never heard of a fucking fried chitlin.
If you're gonna do it, like, just you might as well do that at this point. Like,
I'm gonna try it. I'm absolutely gonna try fried chitlin sandwiches. I'm gonna fry them up and try it.
Okay, I might even regret asking this. So, like, you boil them and then you season them? How does that? Are they just tasty on their own?
No, they're seasoned. I mean, it's like anything else that you would like do, like if I remember correctly, like a low boil on. So there's because here's the thing. It's not like I'm positive that an unseasoned chitlin wouldn't make you throw up.
It wouldn't. It would taste like nothing.
It might just taste like
like nothing.
God, just.
It would taste like nothing. It just tastes like rubber, like
a condom, like
yes, kind of.
Because that's what I'm picturing.
Tastes like something. But
oh
it
no!
Taste like that.
Like it's one of those things where it's like you know when people, and this isn't as intense, but you know when people like prefer the old thing versus like the new thing, like you know when people are like, oh, I only listen to vinyl, and it's like there's the digital version of this is it's not even the same animal. You know what I'm saying? Like just listen to the digital thing. Like you're just doing this for nostalgia's sake. Like, it feels like chitlins need to, like, same thing. Like, just things that we, like, phase out, like polio. Like, chitlins should disappear with polio.
Right.
Wow.
I agree.
No. It's a no for me. No, that's going to be a no for me. Y'all won't take the last thing that brings me joy in the middle of this panorama from me. Okay. Okay, well... Now I'm interested to hear your in my defense because I can't wait to shit on it. Whatever it is.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
Yes. Anything but chitlins.
Okay. I mean, Jesus Christ. Mine is the band Fall Out Boy.
Woo! Well, that's hard to shit on. That's just taste.
That's just
what am I supposed to do with that?
Here's the thing. I feel like a lot of people. Here's the thing. You know what it is? And I do think it's a mixed bag. I think black people don't ride with them as much as they should. And I think white people, because white people have a thing, and I don't want to make this like black people, but white people, but I will say, white people have this thing that the moment they stop liking it, they're like, I never liked it. It's always been bad to me. And you're like, that's impossible. It is impossible. That I wouldn't have known about Fall Out Boy unless it was so popular with white people. You know what I'm saying? It was y'all. Like, Fall Out Boy wasn't playing the chitlin circuit.
Never.
So, I think that, like, the fact that people try to play them as, like, corny, and, like, I mean, granted, the name of the podcast is Black People Like Paramore, but Paramore always banged. But, like, people didn't like Fall Out Boy at first because they thought they were nerds trying to be cool, which is half true, but they worked their way through so many bangers. Like, From Under the Cork Tree, you know, you get a little sampling. I forgot what the name of the album before that, but that was like straight pop punk, right? More generic. From Under the Cork Tree, you know, you got your dance, and like, you know, you got your hits. Wait, what was the first one? Baby, Sugar, We're Going Down.
Sugar, We're Going Down.
Right.
Yes.
Nice. And you're like,
shit.
what? Yeah, who are these?
Classic.
Who are these cool new white boys on the scene?
Right. That was a switch up. That was different. Then
you get Infinity on High, and you're like, whoa, we're at a peak where it's not just like. Yep. It's beyond, it's transcendent of what, like, to me, it's almost, like, I hate the term blue-eyed soul, because it's just, like, it's just white people music that we like. Like, that's all it means. Right, you know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
literally what it is.
But I think that, like, because, I mean, also, it's like, and we know the stories already, but it's like, Jay-Z was an EP, or an executive producer on that album, and, like, he got, Patrick Stump got vocal lessons from Babyface and Usher, and, like, that you can hear, you can sonically hear the difference in From Under the Cork Tree and Infinity on High. Like, they went out of their way, and it says something that they went out of their way to want to be so much better that they went to black artists. Like, they were like, this is the only way to do it. But they have full orchestral strings on Thanks for the Memories. You know, Thriller's an incredible song. And that's the opener of the album. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're just so good at what they do. And then, oh my God, it's so crazy to be like, I love this band, and then keep forgetting the names of the songs. But, so intricate. What's the name of the song?
I don't know what the hell you saying right now.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I forgot the name of the song, but anyway, and that's
isn't it like This Ain't a Scene?
Yes,
that's it.
Well, I was like, but that's the other thing. Came through with long titles. That's another banging thing they did. But here's the thing, like, they are to me like peak, like, you know, if niggas see you listen to them, it's like, oh, you a white boy? Like, because that's the thing, is like, they are still, like, they're like white. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, you couldn't just, like, you know, you can't be in a Monte Carlo listening to Fall Out Boy. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right,
you know.
I would love to see it.
So it is, like, kind of still to me, and again, if you, like, say it's a white, like, it's, you know, I have tons of white homies, and I'm like, I love them, and they're just like, oh man, you know who's good is Daring Rabbit Hunter. I'm like, who? And they're like, only six people like him, and I'm one of them. And it's like, okay, but that's what I'm saying. It's like they're so like they need the exclusivity of the things that they like, and I'm like, it's so weird to me because I'm like, then these people like they'll never be successful because you're not telling people. It's like just the weirdest thing to me. And then like all their like humor comes from that being like, oh yeah, they like, you know, the obvious one is always like Nickelback, but it's like again impossible. Like they were on the Spider-Man soundtrack. Y'all are telling me you didn't listen to Nickelback? Like I didn't hear Photograph everywhere because someone was playing a prank.
Look at that Photograph.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like
like
I did. Photograph,
we all looked at that.
So
we all looked at that Photograph.
So I think that's why it becomes a little Fall Out Boy becomes iffy because you really are in the middle of this like you're straddling a fence of like. You know, it really does become that, like, you know how, like, mulattoes are always like, I don't know which one. Which one am
Not
I?
casually invoking it.
Casually, mulattoes be like,
he's like, you know, octoroons are sort of just like, you know.
Here's the thing, because you really can't. It's so hard to, like, use, like, slurs. Just because, like, we've all agreed that all slurs are bad, but mulatto objectively funny every time. Every time. Like, I'll never stop saying mulatto, and I'll never stop saying wigger. They're the only two that make you know the moment you say them exactly what you're talking about. You know what I mean?
No, wigger is a potent word.
Yeah. But because here's the thing, like, wiggers, they don't be acting like black people. Like, they be acting like white niggas for real. It's just like...
They're a breed unto themselves.
You're like, why are you... You're, like, sagging so low. Like, niggas don't sag like that. Like, you know what I mean?
Hands around
your ankles.
Truly.
You got the tallest tee.
Right. Are those two pairs of basketball shorts under your jeans? How are you moving around?
Okay, so those are the acceptable slurs. That's the acceptable in my defense. Now, I feel like that's the first in my defense that is... You can't refute that. Like the evidence was there.
No, I think Yassir did a great job arguing it. I think it was a very clean revision of like, you know, our history of that band. Because I, for one, have always kind of assumed that they were just like this white thing that like was so popular that I happened to be like it was loud enough for me to hear. You know, I didn't know about the Jay-Z being part of that album. I looked at the Wikipedia. I see that Babyface not only gave Patrick some vocal lessons, but he's a producer on Thanks for the Memories, and he's a producer on another song on that album. So like they were in the stew. That
shit really paid off. Yeah, they were in the stew. That shit paid off.
And I forget.
That was big.
And speaking of mulattoes, Pete Wentz. I forgot
Pete Wentz.
No,
we forget.
Yes,
Pete Wentz is half black. He's half Negroid male.
He's half black, or like a parent is half black.
Last I checked, Pete Wentz was half
black. Like I think he has a black mother.
Yo, let me tell you.
Right, he might have a half black.
I think he has a Jamaican mother. I think he has a Jamaican mother.
No, you're right. He is Caribbean. No, he's Caribbean. I know he's Caribbean. I'm positive.
His Afro Jamaican on his mother's side. Yes.
Yo, that's so exciting.
So is that in my defense?
It might that might negate the in my defense a little bit.
That might, because I mean he's one of us.
Interesting.
No, we're not being literal like that though, because like I don't. Fall Out Boy is still like this like canonically white thing.
Yeah.
Despite all that.
Yeah.
He's white as hell.
And I don't think Pete Wentz is not, you know, eating chitlins.
Well,
you know?
yeah,
He's
Pete,
not.
I didn't-
He's
I
not.
I didn't see
Hold on.
Pete Wentz in a I can't breathe shirt.
No,
Now,
you know,
hold on. You don't know what he eats, and you don't know what shirts he be wearing under his clothes. Okay?
That's
You don't know
true.
what
That
that
is
man
very
does.
true. That is very
Okay.
true.
Because
For
Pete
all
Wentz looked
we
like
know-
he could be a chitlin slinging ass nigga too.
But
I
now, if I remember correctly, he was dating Ashley Simpson for a while, right?
Yes,
That-
yes, you do remember
yes.
correctly.
It completely explains why she's now married to Evan Ross.
Wow. Wow, the connections.
Connections.
The connective tissue.
the
Wow.
tendons.
When they
The
say
connective
once you
tissue.
go black,
The tendons.
right. The connective tissue. Once you go black, you never go back. They said
Right.
that for real. Even if
Once
they
you
did,
go
even if
white
black look like Pete
passing-
Wentz. Right.
You go to slightly less white passing.
Right. Then you go to just,
Oh my
you know,
god.
wow.
Wild.
Regular mulatto. Okay.
Huh.
That's wow. Okay. That, you know what?
Mhm.
It's no refuting any of that. There's no refuting any of it.
It's what we
That
call in
was
the
facts.
business tic-tac-toe, you know?
Who
It's,
is next to
that
an air
was- that was 3
conditioner
in a
right
row.
now?
It is not me.
Is it me? Is it?
I hear
Yeah.
it, but I don't know what that
It might just be some New York street ambiance. You know, we're trying to give a
okay,
bi-coastal,
yeah.
It
a
could be some-
bi-coastal
he's in New York.
feel.
Okay.
Bi-coastal feel. to it.
It could be some New York.
Oh,
ambiance
it might just be
from
my
the side.
laptop deciding to act up.
Oh, your laptop is breathing
Wow,
hard.
man.
Yeah,
You're-
I got an asthmatic laptop.
Yeah, this nigga's laptop got COVID. It's on a ventilator.
You know,
I'm
come on.
sorry that you have a COVID
Come on,
laptop, Jordan.
guys. He's not. My
He
laptop's
said,
not
"Please
on the
don't make fun of my
ventilator.
laptop."
Come on, guys. I'm just trying to
I'm
live
sorry
out
about
here.
That's all
I'm
right.
a young black
Oh
man.
my god.
What we're not gonna do is that.
If they,
Okay,
like-
because I hate. Y'all.
I
I
what were you about to say, Sequoia? I'm sorry, I cut you off.
I hate him. I'm sorry.
You hate
that
the
I hate
boy?
that child. I hate that little boy.
I-
hate that nigga.
You know,
My thing is that
you know,
like,
I'm with Sequoia.
here's the thing. I don't know if I hate him as much as like I hate that whoever filmed it, his mom, like it feels like I don't know. You remember when all this stuff was happening and like black people kept like running up on white people and they're like, "Give me access to your Instagram so I can post my poetry." You know what I mean? Like they kept taking white people's Instagrams hostage so they could be like,
Yeah.
"You go learn today." You know. It felt like that. Like it was. I hate when things feel like they were meant to be viral. Now, on top of that, I hate that now anytime anything happens, they're like, "Bring out the little nigger boy who sings the song," and he's just.
That's exactly what
Right, but that's what it. That's all it is.
They're creating like a shuck and jive ass little tap dancing boy, and they don't have
They
to.
don't have
like,
to.
Stop.
And he's just like,
And he's
looking at
gonna
the
look back
camera,
and-
Assault.
and I'm just
Oh
like,
my
I can't.
If y'all can see
Oh
Yassir,
my god.
one of my friends said you can always see the roof of his mouth and then sick of it, and that
Right.
shit tickled the
Also, has someone ever been like over moisturized? Like, what are they putting on him? Like,
Oh no.
like,
They really are
Jergens?
hydrating my boy.
yeah.
Was also,
He has no pores.
but he
His
also
lips be moist.
the
as
lyrics
hell.
are God. This is so bad. We're gonna get in so much trouble, but.
We're going to hell for this.
The lyrics, it starts with, "I'm a young black man doing all that I can." It's like, no, you're not.
Okay. Yeah.
You're a child.
You are literally none of those things,
And like
my
the
guy.
fact that like I'm like I don't know who like I don't know who wrote the song, but it's just like one of those. It's just like, yes, we have it bad. Like I cannot keep doing this. I cannot keep hearing how bad we have it. I know.
Perform it.
Yeah.
Right. It's like this isn't Black Lives Matter the musical by Lin-Manuel
No.
Miranda. Like,
It's
stop
like-
that.
Oh my god!
Stop that.
Yes, that is exactly what it feels
But it's
like.
just-
It feels
oh
like
Stop
being
it
like,
right now.
God. And you can
Okay,
tell
bro, don't
again
forget.
because like I hate to be like this, but it's like I knew like maybe 2 black people that were like okay, but then like when white people were like, "This got me," I'm like, this nigga's singing next to a window because the light because they don't want to turn the lights on.
Have you seen the one of him doing it and it looks like a color studio video and he's not playing the piano? He's just sitting behind it.
I can't see. That's what I'm
No,
saying.
just like,
I
Like,
haven't.
it truly like.
I'm about to block him.
But it's like,
Mm-mm.
you know, this is okay. This is bad, but you know, like on Instagram once a year, like some weird Hotep memes make it to you, and there's always one of like a little black baby like in a zoo, like eating like something, and it's like a bunch of white people around him, and it's like, did you know when the first black people came here, white people looked at them like animals, like. Anyway, it's just like this meme that goes around like once a year.
No.
That's how I feel every time I see him. Like, I just feel like he's singing and there's like a bunch of white people like, they do understand our language, you know? Like,
Oh Lord.
They do speak it too. That's crazy.
and again,
Yeah.
like, it just reeks of like, please don't make me do this again. And they're like, you're gonna just one more time. We gotta
get out there.
Yeah, we gotta
You're
buy
gonna
a
do it.
condo
Right.
in Baltimore.
We're getting, not in Baltimore.
Right.
We're getting a fucking condo.
You're a young black who?
Man. But right now he's getting out of the. He's now singing about what is that word? Secular things. So he has a new little song out about sex and whatnot.
Sex? How old is he?
Yeah.
Stop. What are you talking about?
He's like 13.
He has a song out, not where he like has some little sexual connotation, little sexual
my
lyrics. And Tristan,
God.
my friend Tristan, was like, "Who dropped some box off on my boy?"
Wow.
I can't. Bottom
I'll
line,
also
I
say
really hate
this.
that little boy, and I'm
No,
sorry.
I'll say this also. I feel like, however, if you start your career on some like some I'm part of the movement stuff, like that, you can't do nothing else. Like, you can't sing I'm a young black man doing the best that I can, I don't want to die, and then also be like, girl, I want to take you to the skating rink. It's just like, no.
Yes.
You are now the black tragedy boy. You gotta sing.
Right.
You gotta sing about how your
Right.
debit card got declined. You gotta sing about. You gotta sing about how they send the losing shirts from championships to Africa. You gotta sing.
No.
Like, I want to hear all. You
Exactly.
gotta all of it. Sickle cell. You gotta do a whole
Right.
song about sickle cell anemia.
Sickle cell.
Oh, yes.
Not sickle cell. Oh no. Oh man.
Oh my god!
Right.
Oh my god! No, and he did a DMX cover. Like when DMX died, he
What?
did a little cover of.
Of
Yeah,
what?
I can't believe y'all haven't seen this.
He said,
He did
"Stop,
a DMX cover.
drop.
Literally, you're joking, but yes, that's
said,
literally what it was.
Where my dogs at? Arf, arf."
Not the bark. That's literally you're joking. That's what he said.
Oh
He had
my
auto tune
God.
over the singing. Like it.
Yo,
it was a
I
lot.
just-
Let me be his manager. I'll be his manager for free because we need to do something
Help
about
him.
this.
Help him. Help
Here's
us.
what I'm saying. Like, this is like one of those times where I'm like, white people need to step in and be like, we don't want this anymore. Like, because we're trying to end it. Like, white people y'all gotta step up and be like, we don't want no more of this black
Right.
shit. We don't want.
This is what we mean by
We're
allyship. Tell that boy to shut
Right.
up. That's what we mean.
Make
Tell
him
that boy to
stop.
shut up.
Make him
He's
stop.
assaulting
I don't
us.
need no more like commercials where it's just a bunch of black and white pictures from the protest. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, we're doing everything that we can. Like, I'm like, white people, y'all are, like, if I was white, I'd be like, all right, I'm tired of it.
Jesus.
Right. I would just have to come on out and be very
Right.
clear about it. Listen, we don't like
Yeah.
we don't like that little
Yeah,
boy.
we don't like the
like
little
him.
boy.
Okay?
We get it. Y'all are tired.
We're tired.
Right.
You're tired. Let's get rid of him. Let's call it quits, okay?
Let's call a spade a spade. Look, we promise
God.
we won't be as mean to y'all if we and we'll stop listening. And we'll stop listening to the little boy.
Promises that. Yassir
Right.
promises that I'm gonna be equally as mean, but you still
Uh-huh.
owe me the right to let me
Yeah.
stop listening to that
Absolutely.
little boy because I'm tired. I'm tired. Okay. Okay. Woo. That was good. Thank you, Yassir, for your insights. This is why we brought you on. Just a professional, an expert about all things. We love it here.
We're gonna get in
also,
so
I'm
much
really
trouble.
bad.
So
And that's okay.
Oh, I don't
like
care.
trouble,
It just makes me laugh.
That's fine. We know.
And
we know.
little boy, if you're watching this, just stop it, okay? Just sit down.
Please. No,
Go
just
play...
for your sake, for our sake. Like,
right. Yeah. Pick up guitar or something. I don't know. Like, it's, I don't know.
I don't know. How about impress me and do it in sign language?
Okay.
In silence.
ASL.
In sign language.
ASL. We all should learn it.
I would take that. I would happily take that, and I am tired of looking at the roof of his
What
mouth.
what if he did it in sign language, ASL, but he still opened his mouth and showed you the roof of his mouth while he did the whole thing?
Well, then I want nothing to do with the no parts.
All right, I'm just asking.
I don't have no parts.
I don't know where you stand.
Yeah, no, the roof of the mouth is probably the most egregious part of it for me. So that's what I really need to stop, and then followed by the vocal ability.
Here's the last thing.
Yeah.
They look like they beat him up before they make him sing it each time. Because I'm like, why are you about to cry? Why are you so teary? You sang the thing a million times. There's no way it gets to you every single time. But he's always like,
every single time.
Right.
And you're like, what?
First of all, back up from the camera.
You are so close.
Right.
You got them like...
Right. Take a Claritin, my guy. I can see your fucking sinuses falling up from here.
That's the thing. Yeah, you be like, damn, like, I don't want to be agreeing with these white folks, but damn, this nigga's got some... Like, why can I see inside his brain? Because his nostrils...
Oh, no!
Okay.
His nostrils so
okay, we're done. Somebody mute Yassir. Mute Yassir.
We are muting Yassir.
Look, no. Look, all of us got nostrils, so that's not even the thing.
And do
you know? But what I'm saying is, like, he be like this, like, all right, are we recording?
On top of the camera, good shit.
He's like,
you know what? They zoom out from his nostrils and then start filming. And you're like, why are we doing that?
Oh my god, they started on the nostrils and then zoom out.
Oh my god.
I'm done.
All right, listen. NAACP, Jesse Jackson. I'm not affiliated with either of these two individuals.
NAACP and Jesse Jackson, nigga.
But here's the thing. I feel like they listen and be like, yeah, we kind of tired of that little boy. Yeah, we kind of tired of that sad little boy. Because like what?
Right.
We see.
I gotta hear the new song now. Like if I'm serious. If he even remotely sounds happy, I'm out.
Can we attach it on like the credits? Like can we go out? We have the ending. Yeah.
Wow. The outro was his song.
Yeah. We'll have that.
Wow. Definitely do that. We'll credit you. Yes. Absolutely. Wow. Okay. Moving right along into the main segment of the podcast. Black People Love. Chirp phones and sidekicks for this episode. And we have on, an expert of all things, Yassir, who's going to talk to us about chirp phones and sidekicks. But before that, I'm going to get a little background on these two things. So, Nextel was the original, chirp phone. I feel like Boost Mobile took it at some point. Like, they also had chirp phones. But the original chirp phone was a Nextel phone. Nextel was created in 1993, and it existed primarily for the walkie-talkie feature. Like, that's what it was created behind, was a walkie-talkie feature. I don't know when Sidekicks was created. I know that it's a T-Mobile thing, and I know that T-Mobile did an April Fool's campaign in 2018 when they said they were bringing back Sidekicks, and it was a shoe that they were like bringing back. They
launched a shoe.
It was an April Fool's campaign in 2018. Okay, and they had Sidekicks written on the side of a Converse, and they said they were bringing back Sidekicks.
First of all, cancel April Fools. So, we don't need that holiday anymore. That's silly. we don't need that anymore. But
sounds like you've been hurt.
I do. I in my obviously extensive research for all of these shows that I do 5 minutes before we start.
Yes.
I discovered that Sidekicks had a different name. Sidekicks were called. Sorry, I'm pulling it up here. You can hear my air conditioner phone computer willing itself to open Safari. But it was called the Danger Hip Top is the name of the Sidekick.
Of the Sidekick?
Yeah, it was made by this company called Danger Inc., which was some Silicon Valley company in early 2000s, and they partnered with T-Mobile, and their in-house name for it was the Danger Hip Top, which T-Mobile then rebranded as the T-Mobile Sidekick.
Okay, Danger Hip Top.
The Danger Hip Top.
What is that even? Like, how do we get here?
I think it's a reference to it being on your hip, and it being top of the line.
I figured that much. Okay, top of the line and on your hip, so that's how we get to Danger Hip Top. And you know what? Them shits was dangerous when you swing them out.
But I actually think it was. But I think it's like a play on hip hop. Like it's like the hip, like the top of it is
hip hop,
yeah.
Real hip hop. Yes, I see.
That's about
hip top.
I didn't say it was a good name. I'm just saying that.
I hope that's not what they was thinking, because I'm offended now.
Were.
It feels like they were marketing to the blacks.
Oh wow! And one of the manufacturers of the phone was a company called Flextronics, which sounds like a funk flex, like line of hair care.
That sounds like
beard oil.
Like a Ray J company.
I was literally about to say that sounds like something Ray J created for sure. Side note: Jordan has a Ray J thing. Jordan is a big Ray J fan.
What do you mean I have a Ray J? Everybody has a Ray J thing. Sequoia.
No, everybody doesn't have a Ray J.
Everybody
just you.
loves Ray J. Thinks he's one of the greatest artists of our generation.
Wow.
Everybody kind of feels that way, and I don't know why you're always trying to single me out.
Yes,
as if.
Do you think that Ray J is
Here's what I'll say. Like,
generation?
he's a goofball, but he only makes things better. Like, he's always...
I'll agree. I love Ray J. I do. But I won't say everybody does.
But you know who loves him is my mom. Like, our mom. We were at a party once, and Ray J just happened to be there, and she tripped in front of him. He literally, caught her, picked her up, and was like, "Are you okay, Miss Lady?" And, like, kissed her on the cheek, 17 times. And my mom was like, "Ah."
That's a dream.
And I was like, "Nigga, stop kissing my mother." And he was just like,
"Kissing my mom, nigga."
He's like,
okay?
"Here you go, Miss Lady.
You gonna be all right?" And I was like, "Oh, she's fine."
Okay.
Miles was probably lit.
Ray J, stop it!
Shit for the rest of the night.
It was a lot.
She said, "You know who kissed my cheeks? Ray J."
Right. You pick your mom up, you're like wiping her cheeks off. You don't know where her lips have been.
Yep.
Right. You don't know what that
Rayfield James Norwood.
I know that's not his
It is weird because his name is Willie Norwood. So I wonder where Ray is. His middle name, maybe.
Now, this is another thing. Niggas do not like people to know their business. So there's no way Ray J was about to give us his government name.
I don't know. But it's just like, I mean, we knew his sister's name was Brandy. You know what I'm saying? Like, here, look.
Fair. But we didn't know her last name.
It's Willie. Okay. It's Willie Ray Norwood Jr. So the Ray is his middle name and the J is for Junior. Okay.
That makes sense.
No doubt.
I see how we
Okay. So Yassir, did you own T-Mobile Sidekick or Nextel phone that had Chirp capability?
So the Chirp thing. So first of all, my mom was dating a dude named Todd who had a Nextel. That was the original, and it was for it was actually for professionals originally. It was like for doctors and like contractors and stuff like that. So instead of paging them, you would just do like. So this dude was like, he was like one of those dudes who he's had every job, and like one of them was like he was like a limo driver, and so his phone was constantly just, and so it was always kind of corny to me. For a long time, like when it was Nextel, like because I was also like I don't know 11 or 12 when it was out like that. So when it was Nextel, I wasn't on it. Like Nextel, I don't even know if you can find their logo online anymore, but it looked like very industrial. It was like yellow and black and like it just seemed like it seemed very construction worker to me. So it wasn't like and I'm sure niggas who sell drugs in Atlanta were probably using it, but I was a child. So I never was really on it like that, until it became Boost. Pardon me. But by then that already Boost was already in the Metro PCS, you know what I'm saying? Like that kind of vibe of you got a cell phone, but if you cross the street, they'll cut your service off.
Absolutely. Yeah. It was prepaid, wasn't it?
But it was also truly the moment it was like having a radio. Like if you were out of range, like you could not call someone, which is crazy to think about. A cell phone, yes. So I had Metro PCS, and luckily they had Metro PCS in Atlanta, and then they also had it in LA. But to use it in LA, I had to switch to an LA number when I got here. But like I was like in the middle of the country. This is when I moved to LA, drive across country. Could not, like, I had to like use payphones because Metro PCS was like, you cannot. And keep in mind, like, it's satellites, and those are everywhere. They were just like, you're broke, like you can't, you know, like.
Right. This is a reminder.
Yeah, this is what welcome to being poor, you know. So so it was always like. So anyway. So by the time the Chirpin had made it to made it to Boost, that's when like Kanye was doing commercials for him, and like The Game, who's like the ultimate cornball to me, and like Ludacris, who's like what I describe as like goofball rap. So like Kanye was like the only person in it that I kind of, you know, like was like, all right, I like Kanye, but like, so anyway, say all that to say that I was never like a chirper. So I was like, maybe I'll do a sidekick. But by then, Sidekicks had like, they had like crossed over into like, and I don't know if you, I mean, Sequoia, you're, you know, again, 20 years younger than me. Jordan, I'm assuming you're 20 years younger than me too. But Sidekicks had made it to like Paris Hilton culture. So I didn't like those ever. Like they were so quick to be like, I remember I had a friend, Ryan, or she's still my friend, but she had one. And I was like, oh, it was pretty tight. But like by the time I like even registered what it was like Paris Hilton had hers like covered in diamonds and stuff. And I was like, this is like, I was like, this is whack to me. So T-Mobile offered the adult version of it. And it was called the T-Mobile MDA. And so it wasn't, you know, like it wasn't like, in Sequoia, I sent you a picture of it, but like the Sidekick, when you hit the screen, it would flip out. It would literally flip and turn, which is crazy for something, a piece of technology to have, to do all that when it's just meant to break. Like why, like it would be like if you made a laptop that you're like, you're supposed to throw it before you open it. You're like, why? Like, it's stupid. But the MDA, literally just, you would touch the screen and it would just literally slide straight up. There was no twist or turn to it. Revealing a keyboard, fully touch screen, came with its own stylus. Like, it was like, so before that... So in between the Metro PCS and the T-Mobile MDA, I had a BlackBerry. And I mean this sincerely. If I could get rid of this iPhone today, I would shoot it, set it on fire, and throw it in the ocean to get a BlackBerry again. It is my favorite phone of all time.
People love BlackBerry.
I love BlackBerry because that was the first like BBM. That was before iMessage, like, and that was that exclusive. It was just like, this is for niggas on BlackBerry only, like ta 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 bam, RNS.
The
you know what I'm
saying?
BlackBerry
was unmatched too. Like that clicking was.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? Best email push technology. Whoa.
But BlackBerry's touchscreen?
The later ones were, but the first ones just had a track wheel on the side, and you would have to go through
that little pearl ball.
But see, the pearl came after because the original one was just the wheel on the side. You would literally like scroll with this wheel, and you'd have to go through every single thing each time. You could go forward and backwards, but you couldn't just like go up and down. Like you couldn't just click a thing.
Oh no!
It was the best. I would rather. I loved it. But then I got this MDA because something happened to my I wanted a Sidekick, but I was like, these things are whatever. So this is dumb. I mean, this lets you know how far back it was. Because this is before like, you know, like you just pop a SIM card into a phone and then it was just your phone. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like you got to register with the government. You got to have an ID. They got to make sure
fingerprint.
Like, we're gonna send a push notification to your home address, and you got to be there for an Amazon person to get a drop of blood. And you're like, this is. I just want to make sure this is still for a phone, and they're like, "Yep."
Right. I want to download like, you know, Paper Talk.
You know what I'm saying? I want to play Snake. But
yes.
Hey, you got some games.
yeah, but so this is I bought the T-Mobile MDA. I bought it used because like it was like $800 when it came out, and there was just hold on. So there was just a dude on Craigslist who was like, I got 50 of them. Roll through this address, $200. And so I was just like, all right, I got 200. You know, like I like made sure I got $200, and I bought it. And like that's the thing. That was like before like now if you steal an iPhone, like they can just shut it down. You know what I'm saying? Like this was back, so it's just like I bought it off Craigslist, just off some dude in a parking lot. He was like, I was like, is like the charging cable in there? He's like, man, I don't know. And I was like, all right. Fair.
Oh,
He's like, take the thing down.
But I would be like, because this is also like when Palm Pilots had like kind of hit too. So like I would be fully at the functions, white, black, wherever. Bam, stylus out, just like tit tat tit tat tat tat, just touching that screen. Bam, showing you like, yo, look at the emails right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause it was just like it was
to
like,
whom it may concern.
To oh my God, Microsoft Office calendar. I don't have an office, nor do I have Microsoft. But if I did,
that's
see that full
but it's all
integrations. You know what I'm saying? It would tell you separately how many like SMS texts you had, and then like MMS pictures you had like come through as well, because it wasn't integrated at the time. Those were they're still technically two different messages, but they all come through the same thing.
I remember that.
So that was like, to me, that was like, it also weighed 740 pounds. You know, I had to carry, I did like carry it around in a wheelbarrow. But it was like to me, it was the like, everyone had sidekicks, and I was just like, oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I think I'm on like a different, like I'm like at the year 3000, and you're like, y'all niggas are just slow to catch up a little bit.
Right.
You know,
Right.
So like that was like my thing. Like I remember I had a fake Billionaire Boys Club BBC Diamond and Dollars hoodie that I bought off eBay and didn't realize, like,
hell yeah.
Cause like you
didn't think it was fake.
I found out it was fake once it came, like, cause it was also really hard at the time to figure out when you were buying something online whether it was fake or not. And I remember it came, and I just tried to convince myself for a year and a half that it was real. Like, I was just like, nah, maybe the real, like, why? They don't need stitching right here. Why would they put stitching right here? And then I remember I touched a real one for the first time, and I was like, makes sense.
It was Metro PCS all over again.
Yeah.
Right,
and I was like, wow, Pharrell doesn't even make this colorway. Well, why didn't I check that at least?
Wow, you got the lime green. I've never seen that.
The lime green with the brown? Wow. Wow. Man, he got the Dookie Brown with the lime green.
You got the Sprite. You got the Mrs. M&M.
Wow, man, that's like cool, man. You got the rust. You got the rust with the bronze.
Oh man,
with the George Washington photo.
Oh,
wow,
man.
I didn't even know they did a presidential.
That's rare.
They didn't even do a presidential run like that. I didn't know. I didn't know they did a. I didn't know they did a Supreme hoodie that was all about ice cream. Like regular, not the clothing company. I mean regular ice cream.
Just chocolate chip mint.
Ice cream.
Back to Ryan Brown. Yes,
so,
absolutely.
Anyway, yeah.
Okay,
so I was like, you know, like HNIC, like this is what bosses do. Like they have this one.
Right.
By the way, we're fully working at Best Buy. So it's not like if someone saw me in public,
as bosses do.
Yeah, as bosses do. They, at Best Buy corporate, I was at Santa Monica and La Brea selling digital cameras.
Okay. And that's okay. Yeah.
But boss life, bossing up. mogul status.
Mogul
You had a
status.
stylist. You had a stylist. did you
Yeah,
not?
but anyway, yeah. So like to
Stylist was
me,
bad.
like, and here's the thing, like now I think being a little bit older, like for the nostalgia of it, it's like, oh, it might be funny to like have a sidekick, but I'm also like, because I will say this, like I think our iPhone, like the iPhone gives me too much access. That's what I liked about having a BlackBerry.
Agreed.
Like it was like if you wanted to look something up online, it was like that was your day doing that on a BlackBerry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like with this, like I'm just like, there's a little. I don't need to be. People don't need to be reaching me this easily, and also, like I don't need to look up every single thing that comes in my head.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Very
like,
that. Nor do I need to be able to see what other people.
you know
are doing
what I'm saying?
constantly. Like I don't need to see
and
any
it's
of
just
that.
And the thing is, like, I've never been more engaged with things that I don't care about. Like, I'm like, I genuinely do not care about these people, and I just spent 3.5 hours looking at pictures of them, which is the most uninteresting thing. Like, at this point, just call them and be like, tell me about your
100%.
life. You know?
Right. No, you're very right. But I want to know what drew you to Sidekicks in the first place. What was like the draw? Did you see a nigga have it and you was like,
well, I mean, it's like
that is
it was,
what
but
I
it was
need.
like anything cool, right? You know what I'm saying? Like they were cool. They were unlike anything else. I'll say that, like objectively. Like if you had like, I remember the first time I saw one, and nigga was like, "Hey, let me get your number." Like, pow, and I was like,
yeah.
wow, that's custom.
That's you made
Wow,
it.
man.
Did your phone just tray flip?
Yeah. Man, oh my god, he got a new Tony Hawk phone.
That's
Right.
crazy.
Your phone doing kickflips and shit.
But yeah, so it was like that in the sense that it was aspirational, but also this, people forget there's a lot of things that were just black at the time. Like T-Mobile was black at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then
You're
it
so
began,
right. Yep.
the Paris Hilton of it all and blah, blah, blah. And like then became a takeover. But yeah, so like a sidekick at the time, like, niggas would have a pistol and a sidekick next to each other.
Goodbye.
And be like, which one am I drawing out?
Strapped up.
Yeah.
Right.
Which one am I pulling out?
I keep them things
You know what
on
I'm
me.
saying?
We might have had this conversation on this show, or maybe we just had it off air. But I was telling Sequoia how I feel like the advent of all these streaming services and like us being able to access all the old shows that we used to watch in the early 2000s and stuff like that has reminded me of how up until like 2 years ago, pop culture was segregated. There was like black stuff and then there was white stuff, which I feel like is like in part the inspiration for the show a little bit. Like there was T-Mobile and then there was like Verizon. There was the Proud Family and there was like whatever the other white show was. Like it was like there was just like two categories, and like it wasn't until like 2 years ago that we started having like every car commercial has a multiracial 3C hair family.
But isn't that the that is the good and the bad of it, right? And this is where it comes from. So it's like the good being like, wow, I have, like for someone like me, like I love like Paul Thomas Anderson and Wes Anderson and like, like all the, the quote unquote like white directors, along with like, your Spike Lees and your Gina Prince Bythewoods and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but you would have to go out of, like Love and Basketball used to always be on black TV. You know what I'm saying? Right. And like, unless you made your way over to like a free weekend of Cinemax, you're not going to see Rushmore. Like, that's just not going to happen. So with all of that, you're like, damn, like this is the first, or unless you like make it to like a white person telling you like, look up the Criterion Collection, or like a black person telling a white person like, yo, this is where we get music. You know what I'm saying? Like, because radio is kind of, because it was free, and TV was free mostly, but radio was the first great equalizer in culture, because like you could just be white and listen to black music, and you just be black and listen to white music. Like no one has to know what you're doing, right? Same thing with TV a little bit, but like you know, like Fox was a black channel for a very long time. You know what I'm saying? And even the white families they showed were like trashy. It was like Married with Children and the George Carlin show, and like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was for black people and poor white people. And that was it.
Yeah.
So with that, you have all this good, right? Now we all have access to everything. But then you also get the quote unquote bad, and that's where it becomes dicey, right? Like, I'm gonna be real with y'all. Like, I truly don't really care about like cultural appropriation. It's not something that I like. It's funny to me. But, like, you know, when, like, if a white girl has, like, braids and is working at the bank, like, I'm like, I'm sorry, that's funny to me. Like,
go off,
you know, like, it's just funny to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, go off, Samantha.
But you know what I'm saying? And, like, here's the thing. Like, realistically, if a black girl wanted that job and had those braids, a lot of times they'd be like, no. But the fact that, like, it is a white woman with those braids really makes me laugh. It'll just always make me laugh. But my point being is that, like, so the things that it because it's all become conflated, it's good and bad, right? So it's like, you have access to all these things, but also now, like, the Kardashians do the things that they do. You know what I'm saying? Or you have, like, these, like, I don't know, I saw,
gestures
like,
broadly.
You know what I'm saying? But, like,
yeah.
I'm not on TikTok just because I don't, like, I physically, like, my brain can't understand, like, I don't know how to, like, find a video, but, like, so I can, like, see things that make it from TikTok to, like, to Instagram, and there was a video of, you know, that, the Future song, Wiggle, 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 you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So I guess that's, like, a TikTok trend now where, like, people just do, like, videos and they just, like, wiggle to the video, right? And I saw one of, like, these, like, 5 white boys, these, like, 5 pretty, like, white boys with, like, a dangling cross earring, and, like, you know, they really thought they were, like, doing something, you know what I mean? And they're just like, wait. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, wow, that would, like, never exist. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, again, like, that, if you did that when I was in high school, they would be like, oh, those are the 5 Wigger boys who made that video.
Right. It's broadening Wiggerdom. We're not talking about that. Like, the broadening Wiggerdom.
Like, Wiggerdom, because it's not, the crazy thing is, like, you have to be so far Wigger now to even, like, for it to even remotely land on someone to be a Wigger. Like, you can fully, like, because here's the thing is, like, even, like, the black clothing labels are no longer black. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything is kind of, like, it's not just streetwear, but it's, like, it's an amalgam of, like, streetwear with, like, you know, kind of prep culture where it's, like, again, you know, name something. Like, even, like, perfect examples, like, Ivy Park. Granted, she's famous, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you will see a black girl and a white girl, or a black dude and a white dude, or, you know, a non-binary person wearing the exact same outfit. Like, an Ivy Park, like, skin-tight catsuit with, like, hoop earrings and blah, blah, blah. Or, like, a big hoodie with track pants, and, like, that never would have existed before. Like, if you were a white person wearing that, you played basketball. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or you had a black husband, or not, a black boyfriend at home who got you pregnant. Like,
that is true, Yassir. That is a fact. Or you were that little girl in the Miss Elliott video. The Miss Elliott.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, but that again, it was like to them, it was like, it's excusable. It's a child. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was a novelty.
You know what I'm saying? And now, like, her dancing at, like, the VMAs or whatever, that only registered just because we had a nostalgia attached. But if, for the sake of argument, if we didn't have that nostalgia, we wouldn't have thought twice about it. Because you don't think about white people being backup dancers anymore. You don't think about, you know, like, you don't think it, like, Jack Harlow was on SNL. And, like, it was just, like, a normal thing. And I was at home being like, there's a white rapper on SNL. This is, you know, like, this is...
And he's not Eminem.
You know what I'm saying? Like...
Right. I mean, it took of Chet Hanks speaking full patois Jamaican sentences for us to be like, yo, this is getting a little crazy.
But no,
yo, I don't, maybe we should...
No, I'm... full opposite. I was like, this is exactly what needs to happen. I'm not kidding. This is exactly what needs to happen. Because Now, whether you like him or you hate him, he racially unites you in your hate or in your like of him, right? So like, there's a whole group of white and black people who are like, he's hilarious, and there's a whole group of white and black people who hate him. But you don't even think about you're not thinking about you're just thinking about like whether you like or dislike Chet Hanks.
This nigga, right? Is what you're thinking. Yes, he's funny.
He's objectively very funny.
He's very good at what he's doing.
Absolutely,
he's very funny.
Absolutely. Because it's not. He's also not like
we wouldn't be talking about it otherwise.
We wouldn't be talking about it otherwise. And like the thing is that like you can tell like he's one of those people that he's like, people are gonna hate me anyway, so let me actually become the lightning rod. You know what I'm saying? And it's like your dad isn't a superstar, and you don't pick up certain things about how to be a superstar or, you know, like become a public figure. Yeah. So now that being said, now it is kind of it's kind of dangerous, but it's more funny than it is dangerous. Like, I'll say this, like, I don't like when you start making shirts that say like Black Queen Summer, like, again, objectively very funny.
Oh,
but you're getting very close to a line where, like, people are wearing them more as the joke than it is to be like, oh, I like that he's, like, big up in black girls.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, and
it feels like more like a manifestation of, like, this thing that was already happening. Right. I feel like Chet Hanks is just, like, the wigger we deserve.
Yeah,
you know,
I
think like that shit was just like was already boiling. Yeah. There's a little kid I used to when I was in high school, I was like at my school called Middle School Advocate, which was like a senior in the high school. I went to like a K-12 school, and it was a senior in the high school who like just like hung out with like the little like 12-year-old middle school boys like once a month or something like that. It was like, hey y'all, here's how it was like we were talking about I don't know what we were talking about the NBA or something. We just we're like I would hang with these kids and like be
listen, Jordan, have got to stop. You got to stop saying it like that.
Rephrase.
I hang out with little boys. It was
I was hanging out with these little boys. I an adult was hanging out with these little boys. No, we were. It was like a mentor group. It was a mentor group. That is all to say that one of my mentees is on my Instagram. Like we follow each other or something. And I try to stay off Instagram.
Again, not great. Is he an adult now?
I believe he's an adult now. I try not to interact with his content as much as I can because from what I'm about to explain, he has become like a Chet Hanks in training. Like and for context, I'm from New Haven, Connecticut, and I went to like this like kind of white private school.
Yeah.
And like this kid is from like, you know, a shoreline Connecticut town. Like he's like a kid of from means, you know, and he like is trying to become a rapper. He is like posting videos like with like his boys are on like little dirt bikes in like downtown New Haven, like and with ski masks on, and like he's like rapping in front of them in a bomber jacket, and I'm like,
no.
This we're so far gone, you know. Like look at. I'm not gonna say his name. I don't want to do him like that, but like, but like it just is like it blew my mind, and I was like, I just have to like. I have to detach myself. I can't think about this too hard.
Here's what I'll say. Like, the rap is particularly interesting because he's rapping, right? Isn't that what you're saying? So, yeah. Rap is particularly interesting because it went from just like thugs for real and gangsters for real and or someone who was very close to that lifestyle to then everyone is now acting like it's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Black and white alike. Like, I've met a few of these people, and I'm like, this is just a dork who learned to rap. Yeah. Like, Rick Ross is a full cop.
Fuck yeah.
And people are like, he's a good rapper. Like, that is crazy. That is crazy. Right. It's also no better, you know, like no better illustration to me is that of Meg Thee Stallion, where it's like, if that happened to Lil' Kim, what's his name? Tory Lanez. I almost said Trey Songz. Yep. Tory Lanez would be dead. He would be fully dead.
Deceased.
You know, and
Yeah.
like it just speaks to all of it, like. And the Tekashi 6ix9ine of it all, where people are like, I'm gonna get this nigga. And he's like, well, you tried to fuck so-and-so's wife. And then they're just like, I'm sorry. And it's like, he is a rat. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, get him. And it's like all these actors in it. You know what I'm saying? There's like 4 rappers for real, like, who are crazy. Like, it's like Gucci, Young Thug, Lil Baby, Da Baby,
well.
I don't know wwho else. Who else is like out?
Jack Harlow.
But you know what I'm saying?
YBN Corday.
YBN Corday. Jesus Christ. That is so funny. But that's kind of my point, right? Like back in the day, like think about like that would be like if Whitney Houston is not even Whitney Houston. It would be like if Serena Williams at her height was like dating Tupac. You'd be like, whoa, that's crazy. But we don't think about the most famous tennis star in the world is dating a rapper. And everyone's like, whoa, you know, like,
oh my God.
It's wild to think. Like, that's how far it's come.
Point.
Like, it really doesn't, it means as much to people as like acting does. You're just like, it ain't. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't real.
It's a thing that we do.
Yeah. So that being said, like, if this is the life that 12-year-old white boy that you stalk his Instagram, if that's the life... That's the life your young 12-year-old mentee that you love. That's what he wants to live. Let him live.
Look, again.
Nah, man. You be on his Instagram, man. You really be on there, man. You be on it. You be on that little. God. You be on that little boy's Instagram, man.
Oh my God. We were doing so well, man.
How do we haven't been doing so well?
We haven't been doing so well.
He was the one who was like, I watch little boys.
That was a direct quote. That was a direct quote.
Anyone listening, rewind it in about 3.5 minutes and you'll hear Jordan say,
right.
I used to watch Little Boys. I was a senior. And now I follow those little boys on Instagram. Respectfully. I don't, but then the worst part is like, I don't engage with them at all. I just watch them.
It sounds so much worse.
Wow.
Put like that.
This is.
It sounded so much worse. This phrase like that.
Man.
This is going to be our last episode.
You know, right? This is it.
This is our last one. How can this is the last one? I'm gonna get my things in order.
Yeah, right.
All right, Jordan, don't be looking
at
little boys online. Y'all relax.
Okay. I think that's it. Was that the bell? I heard the bell. Let's think the episode's
over.
Well,
yeah, I heard the school bell.
So funny.
Well, that does seem like a good place to go, though. Yeah. Yassir, thank you again for being on. Like, this has been great. Resident expert on all things old and black. We love that. Thank you.
Appreciate you coming.
Thank y'all for having me. It was so much fun. For
educating
real.
us.
I mean that. Again, the age difference between me and y'all is probably the same between Jordan and that little boy he be watching online.
I'm leaving.
All right, I'm out. I'm out. I'm out.
I'm turning it off.
I'm done. I'm done.
Jordan got up from his seat, y'all. Jordan got up from his seat.
God, that is so fun.
Yassir is a bully. Yassir is bullying us on our own podcast.
Not right.
Okay. But for real, thank y'all for having me. It was so much fun.
Y'all.
We gotta do it.
Yes, thank you so much for coming on. Again, I am Sequoia.
And I'm Jordan. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. And this has been Yassir.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.